Tyronn Lue told a group of reporters, Cavs beat writers last night, that Boston is actually harder to guard than Golden State. He said the stuff that they're running, it's harder to defend than Golden State's offense for me, as far as the actions and all the running around and all the guys who are making all the plays. So it's a totally different thing. Like, they hit the post, Golden State runs splits and all that stuff, but these guys are running all kinds of stuff. And Brad Stevens has got them moving and cutting and playing with pace, and everybody is a threat. And that's what made this team interesting when Isaiah Thomas went down. Why, again, not better without IT, but different and a different type of challenge without IT for Cleveland. And this is also interesting because I think it speaks to Brad Stevens' brilliance, particularly out of timeouts. They run great sets. But to your point about missing IT, they do that because they have to. When it comes to comparing Golden State and Boston, and Tyronn Lue has forgotten more basketball than I ever know. So who am I to question what he's saying? And I get that they're challenging, but I don't know about being harder to guard than Golden State.
I think he's only saying that because Boston, with them all of a sudden in the course of a series, essentially having to develop a new offensive identity, that makes it kind of difficult. They're a little more unpredictable now. As he said, the way they're sharing the ball,
Absolutely.
He kind of doesn't know where the offense is going to come from. You know, with Isaiah Thomas, that's the guy, that's who's going to get the ball. We stop him, we put it in everybody else's hands, and then we see what will happen. But when you have Marcus Smart hitting 6 or 7 threes, how can you game plan for that?
Yeah,
right.
But look, he went back to be Marcus Smart last night.
He did, but it might be somebody else, a different time. It might be Jaylen Brown, it might be Jay Crowder, it might be Kelly Olynyk.
Their actions are tough to defend, no question about it. But I'd much rather defend that and all the movement that they do and all the plays that they run because they have to in order to be effective than to defend a team with Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, even the ice cold Klay Thompson and Draymond Green that shares the ball better than anybody. They led the league in assists in the regular season.
And not only that.
So they may not run the same types of things.
Right.
But give me the team that runs these great plays with worse players.
Well, I think
so they have to defend.
I think he was speaking from the standpoint of I'm sure the Cavaliers, given how often they've seen Boston, they probably were thinking, we have this team pretty much figured out. Okay, that's not to suggest that
Going into the series,
we have them figured out. We know what they do. We know what they like to do. We know how to make them uncomfortable. It's a lot harder to make a team uncomfortable when you just can't really predict what they're going to do.
Well, that's why I predict them winning Game 5 because of what he's talking about. It's not going to be as easy as, hey, okay, they're more talented. LeBron, Kyrie, Kevin Love, they're going into Boston. They ain't going quietly.
Well, and not only that, because they no longer have to kind of worry about hiding IT on defense. That kind of presents some different challenges.
Crazy. We hang around each other enough and end up not only sharing the brain, but thinking the same. Because I went into it saying it was going to be a sweep. And now you're like, it's over.